Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and my name is Khomotso Makhura. If you're new, do welcome. If you've been part of the family, welcome back. And oh my gosh guys, I feel like a year later I have to do this again, simply because there are people that are inboxing me almost every day on Facebook because they want to know about the au pair program. So yeah, I just decided, instead of answering each and every individual as they ask their questions, I might as well do like a questionnaire on my channel, and then everyone else will get all the answers they need from this video. Hopefully everything that you need to know on this video. And this is my own personal experience. There isn't an agency that I am affiliated with for this video. This is just my own experience and just me helping out everyone else that keeps asking about the au pair program. So anyway, before we get into this video, please do make sure that you are subscribed to this video, you like this video, and you share with your friends, okay? All right, this video might change someone's life, but yeah, let's get right into it. Basically, with this video, we're going to have I'll be looking down because I have notes that I wrote down. So we'll be looking at what is au pairing, the requirements that you need for au pairing, and we will be talking about the agencies that are there, well, the agency that I used, and we'll be talking about my personal experience as an au pair. Then I will be answering, the fifth point will be me answering all the questions that you left on my stories. I put down a story post, I'll put it right here. I'll put down a story post that you guys can ask me any questions that are au pair related, and then we'll close down the video, so that way it's more structured. And if you guys had some questions that I already had answered, then I'm sure you would have gotten your answer. But anyway, so let's get right into it. So what is au pairing? So au pairing is when a young woman between the ages of 19 to 26 moves to the USA to live with a host family. Yeah, to live with a host family and help them with their kids. Basically, that's what au pairing is. Some people might say au pairing is babysitting, but I would say that, yeah, basically as an au pair, you become a sister, a member of a community, a member of a host family. You become just more than a babysitter or someone who looks after the kids. You just become involved with the family and everything else, you know. It's not just you looking after the kids, it's you being involved with the family and the cultural exchange behind au pairing and everything else. What do you do as an au pair, right? So as an au pair, you do everything that is child care related. Child care related meaning going down to playing with the kids, making breakfast, making meals for the kids, just taking care of the kids. Basically, when you do au pairing, you work for 45 hours maximum. But anyway, so the duties that you do as an au pair is taking care of the kids, taking them to after school activities, doing light cleaning after the kids. Light cleaning after the kids, not just yeah. Coming to the point of pricing, every agency has its own prices. What I know with cultural care is you only pay when everything is sorted. So they don't want any fees prior to you getting approved, moving to the USA. The only time they want money is when you are approved with the host family and they are sure that you meet the requirements and everything else, and you are ready to fly out. So as soon as everything of yours is ready, then that's when you pay, not before. They don't have any application fees or anything of that sort. All you do is you apply, you speak with families and blah 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 and blah blah blah, and then halfway through, as soon as you find a family that you think it's a match for you, then that's when you pay. And each and every agency has its own way of doing things, and that's how Cultural Care is doing their own things. So yeah, unfortunately I cannot say how much, but all I can say is you can inquire with the agency that you want to go with. But I would personally advise you to go with Cultural Care, because that's the one that I used and I can trust, and I'm back home. So that is the agency that I would recommend anyone to use. Cultural Care pricing. Firstly, it will pay for your flights to the USA and back. It will pay for your flights to your host family. It will pay for your flights to your host family, yes, and it will pay for a trip to New York for the training school. So that's what I know that it covers. So you won't have to worry about who's going to pay for your flights after you pay the agency fees. They're all covered in it. I'll be telling you about my own au pair experience. So basically I went to au pair in 2017. I lived in Brooklyn for my first year. I took care of a 9-year-old, 8-year-old and a 6-year-old boy and a girl. And living in Brooklyn was way different than my second host family. Living in Brooklyn, I wasn't driving, so even though I had to get my driver's license, but I wasn't driving when I was in Brooklyn, because I mean everyone in Brooklyn walks. And then yeah, the experience was amazing. We were like a family. We used to drink a lot together, which was great. And also each and every family is different. So for me, the first family I lived with in Brooklyn with the second family that I lived with on my second year, I lived with a different family, which they were black Nigerian, living in South Orange, New Jersey, which was very close to New York, because I wanted to be close to my friend. So that's why I decided that I'm still gonna stay in the east side of the country. So basically, when you are an au pair, remember you work 45 hours a week. So with my first host family, I worked 45 hours a week, and I only had 1.5 weekend off. So meaning 1.5 weekend off, so like half Saturday then Sunday full day, or half Friday then Saturday full day, then Sunday I'm working. So 1.5 week off. So that was my experience with my first host family. With my second host family, I had all my weekends off, like literally all my weekends off. So I could travel every weekend if I wanted to, or if I saved enough money to travel every weekend. And yeah, that was my experience. And with my second host family, I drove, which was great. I mean, driving on the other side of the road is crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, they gave me maybe like 5 lessons before I could start driving the kids. So I'll drive, my driving instructor would come pick me up, go drive and come back. When my host mom came back, we would go drive together until I got used to the driving, because if you can drive, of course you'll know how to drive. So it wasn't hectic. And in terms of like your 45 hours, it depends on your family. Like with me, my 45 hours with my first host family, it was just all over the place, but I always got my 1.5 weekend off. And then with my second host family, I got all my weekends off. And then Friday was date night, so Friday I'll finish work late at night at 11 o'clock, but I knew the whole weekend I wasn't working because it was of course date night. And that was my experience. And with everything else, it was amazing. I got to travel to 13, 14, 15 states. So if I were to count them, I would be like, I've been to New York, I've been to LA. Okay, wait, let me count them according to where I went first. So my first trip, I went to LA, I went to Las Vegas, I went to the Grand Canyon, I went to Chicago, I went to New Orleans, I went to Houston, Texas, and then I went to Boston, I went to Niagara Falls, I went to Philadelphia so many times. I went to New Jersey, of course, because I lived there. There's something that I'm forgetting. Oh my gosh, I'm forgetting 4. Yeah, anyway, yeah, the other 4 is yeah, it's weird that I can't remember. I said New Orleans, I said, yeah, anyway, I went to like 14 states when I was there. Washington DC is one of them. And yeah, anyway, those are all the places that I went to when I was au pairing, and it was quite easy. Like, traveling was cheaper, and I don't know if I said this, but you guys get a stipend of $195.75, which is standard. $195.75 a week, which is a standard salary that you get. Your family might give you more, but they can't give you less. So yeah, and then yeah, so now I wrote a post on my story, like I said in the beginning, that I have questions that you guys asked. I have questions that you guys asked in regards to the au pair program and everything else that you want to know. So now what I'm going to do is I'm quickly going to answer all these questions that you guys had, that you asked on my stories, and then I will give you the answer. So the first question says, how long does it last, like the whole program? So the whole program lasts for a year, but a minimum of a year, maximum of 2 years. So you can extend your stay for 2 years. If you don't want to stay there for a year, you can extend for another year. I don't know if that's making sense, excuse me. And then, how was it like? She's asking, how was it like? It was the best times of my life. I've met people, I've made friendships, I've made relationships, I've made everything else that you can think of. And I have 2 lovely host families that are in the USA. So yeah, it was quite amazing. So this one says, let's say you're not happy with your host family. Can you change or wait until your time ends? So basically, if you're not happy with your host family, there's a process that's called rematch. So rematch is basically when you're just not happy with your host family and things aren't working out. You can't go on rematch just because you don't like them. You have to have a valid reason why you want to change families, and that is allowed, but you only have 2 weeks to change families. So if you could, would you go back? So if I could, would I go back? I'm too old to go back. But yes, if I was younger, I would definitely go back. So do you get paid? And yes, you do get paid. You get paid $195.75 a week. $195.75 a week. So who covers the logistics? So with the logistics, you pay the agency fee, and then the agency that you used, well, let me say with cultural care, you pay an agency fee, and they cover the logistics in terms of like travel, going there and back, but they do not cover for your passport, visa, and your international driver's license, and all the health checks that you have to do. Those are on you. Okay, this one says, I've been seeing this post on my feed and I've been meaning to ask you if this was you in the picture. So yeah, I am I am an ambassador of cultural care, so they use my picture to advertise. So yeah, it is me. Oh, this one's asking how old I am. And this one asks, what qualifies a person to do au pair? So basically, like I said in the beginning of the video, what qualifies you to become an au pair: you need to have your driver's license, you need to have childcare experience, you need to have your matric, and yeah, maybe love kids. what are some of the disadvantages of being an au pair? So I think for me, one of the advantages of being an au pair is sometimes when you work where you live. Oh my gosh, my tongue, guys, it's just all over the place. But anyway, so the advantages for me is when you work where you live, sometimes there isn't that boundary. You don't feel like you're done, you know, like especially because you work with the kids. You find that maybe you finish work at 5 p.m. and then you go upstairs, but the kids will still think that you want to play, but you playing with them is your job, you know. So now it's like you feel like you could just escape. So this one says, how can one clarify that an au pair company is legit and not a human trafficking scam? So I cannot tell you how to verify. I can always say that before you use an agency, just make sure that someone has used that agency and has came back. This one says, can you date while you are an au pair in the USA? So when you're an au pair, they cannot tell you, I mean, you're a young adult, they cannot tell you that you can date. You just do whatever you feel like doing, you know what I mean? So if you want to date, yes, you can date. If you don't want to date, then don't date. So they can't really choose for you what you do with your time. As long as you respect their house, then that should be good. So do you get paid for the program? And yes, you do get paid. You get paid $195.75. Is there any way you can stay in the country after 2 years? So with the au pair program, you can't really stay in the country after 2 years. 2 years is it for you for the program, and you need to come home. So how much were you getting paid by the host family, and did the price fluctuate? So I got paid $195.75 a week. That's the minimum that the family is supposed to pay you, and if there is more, if they want to pay you more, they can, but the minimum is $195.75. So this one says, what happened in the first week or two when you arrived in the USA? So my first week when I arrived in the USA, we went to the training school. So the training school is the one that the agency covered. So with the training school, you get to the USA the first day. You get there, you meet up with other au pairs from different countries, and then they take you to the training school. You get there, they give you t-shirts, they give you jerseys and like water bottles and stuff like that. In the first week, you attend classes, you make new friends, you do like candy activities and stuff like that. And then you do CPR training. They teach you about like how American kids are being raised and how to discipline them and stuff like that. And then that's your first week. And then on a Friday, then you fly out to your host family. If your host family is in Brooklyn, they can come pick you up. If they are in a different state, then they'll pick you up at the airport and stuff like that. And then with the second week, when I got there, I got my schedule. This is how you're going to be working. My host mom was with me the whole time, showing me the kids, showing me the house, showing me everything that I needed to know, the neighborhood, the library, the bars the neighborhood, the library, the bars, the food places, where people hang out, what's popular. And she showed me how to use the washing machine. She showed me how to use everything in the house. So the first week was just me getting my foot in the door and just getting to work, you know, like, but she was there to guide me with everything. And then with my third week, we were just gradually taking it as slow as I can, in terms of like going to pick up the kids, then I'd have to use Google Maps all the time because honey. But yeah, that was it. That was basically what happened the whole time. Was it worth it, and would you do it again? And most definitely would do it again. I feel like it's an opportunity of a lifetime. Anyone should definitely do it, because it's one of those opportunities that come and then you snap them and you have the best 2 years of your life, and then you let them go and you're just like, oh my god, I've lived. So did the host family give you enough time to explore and travel? So when you are au pairing, you get you work 45 hours a week, you get 2 weeks of paid vacation. So 2 weeks of paid vacation, meaning that on that 2 weeks you are not working, but you're still getting paid. And then so yeah, you use your weekends, you use your time off to travel. You can always communicate with your host family what you want to do and when you want to do it, and then you can ask for free time, but it should be your 2 weeks of free time. But if they like want to give you free time, then they can give you free time. Sometimes it's some host families that don't travel with their au pairs, so when they travel, you can travel somewhere else as well. Some of them travel with you, and if they're traveling with you, then that's great because you get to explore while working. And then this one said, I heard that the program includes school or short course. What have you taken and how does that work? So the family pays $500 towards your short course schooling. So with me, I did a certificate in social media marketing, and then I did like a small psychology class. Like it was like a really small psychology class. It was just basic psychology, and I got a certificate in social media marketing when I was there. So it all depends, as long as like with most of the courses $500 is not enough, so you'll just have to pitch in some 200 extra or 100 extra, or you can get a course that's $500, so you don't have to put in anything. So that's how it works. So the family pays for your schooling. This one says, is there any way I can get a sponsor to help me prepare to go to the USA? So I don't know of any sponsors, but what I know that I did is that before I went to the USA, I found a job so I can cover all the expenses, because to be quite honest, there are like a lot of expenses. There's like the agency fee, there's the visa, there's the passport, there's the health check, and there is money that you have to carry to the USA. You don't want to get to America and you have 0 cents on you. So I found a job, and then I worked for maybe like 8 months, saving up everything for going to the USA. And then as soon as I was ready to go to the USA, and then I left the job and I went straight to America. So I would suggest you do the same. Or if maybe you can't find anything to do, just babysit. That way you can babysit for people and they pay you, and you save your money for traveling while you're getting the experience. This one says, I'm moving. I want to know how it feels to be in another country as a South African. So as a South African, she wrote, as a South African. So as a South African, it's very hard to move to a different country. Like I found that I didn't really enjoy American food because I found them to be very dry, but I also liked the fact that you can eat different types of food from different types of places. So my favorite dish to eat was Mexican. I loved Mexican food because they have like a lot of flavor, you know. So I loved a lot of Mexican food when I was that side. It was more relatable, something that you can actually eat, like rice and beans and salads and like your 7 colors type of dish. And this one says, I want to know, when did you start applying for your passport and visa after you signed up with Cultural Care? So before I signed up for Cultural Care, I had already had my passport. So I had my passport before I signed up, and then when I signed up, my passport was still valid, of course. And then with your visa, the agency Cultural Care will guide you in terms of where to go with like what to say when you get to the interview, what to do when you get to the interview, what you need when you get to the interview for your visa. So they will guide you through everything else. So, and they will tell you when you need to go get your visa. It was like the longest video I ever did. Like, what the actual, like, wow. But anyway, if you guys have any questions whatsoever, drop them under this video, then I will try answer each and every au pair related question under this video, so that way we don't flood our DMs. So that way we don't flood my DMs. We can just refer everyone to this video and get all the questions that you guys have under this video, and then I will try and answer them. So yeah guys, thank you so much for watching. If you guys have, wow, okay, so let me have some. So yeah guys, if you have any more questions, anything that I might have not covered, I tried to cover everything. Actually, let me look at this, see if I covered everything. So see, what is au pairing, duties, requirements, agencies, pricing, my own experience, and your questions. So yeah, I think I covered everything. And so thank you guys so much for watching. Please do like, comment, and subscribe, and leave all your questions down below. I'll see you in my next video. Please, 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 please subscribe.